Hello and welcome to Adobe XD for UI UX, and for this we are going to learn about how to make micro interactions with animations. So in this lesson I'll be teaching you some few micro interactions with animations as well. So let's go ahead and get started with our lesson. So here I have opened up a new project. Let me go ahead and rename this project first. I'm going to go here, go to my files over here, and then what I'm going to do is right click on this or left click on this, go to rename, and we'll be doing like how to make micro interactions with animations, right? There you go. Now we have renamed our file, as you can see. So let me go ahead and first create our artboard over here. Let me go ahead, rename or resize this to, let's say, 400 by 400. There you go. Sorry about that. There you go. Now what I would want to do with this is basically, let's go ahead. First, let's create, let's say, a panel or an interaction where it says we are going to open up something from sliding from the left side to the right side. Okay. So what I would want to do is first go ahead, create a rectangle. Okay. So let me go ahead, create a rectangle. I'll go ahead and resize it so that it fits properly over here. There you go. Now I'm going to place it like this over here. There you go, at the center. Okay. Or a little bit over here. Now I would want to open up a grid, so I'm going, instead of rectangle, I'll go back. I'm going to select this or give it a grid panel. So show square grid. There you go. Now the square grid here is at 8. Let me try to keep it at 10 to keep everything uniformly straight. Now I'll place this right over here at 10. There you go. Now I'm going to go ahead and make this up over here. Also select this, so yeah, and see if it's properly at 10 or no. So yes, it is at 10. There you go. And I'm going to zoom in over here to see if it's at 10 or no. So now everything is at 10. Now what I would want to do is go to the center. Okay. And create, let's say create, or at the top over here, let me go ahead and create another, or double click on this. There you go. Now I can add a point, right? So what I would want to do is having a point over here. There you go. And having another point over there. So I'm going to go ahead and select that, increase it to over here. And I'm going to increase, I'm going to put in another dot over here, increase this one over here. There you go. And increase this one over here. Now we have like a bar over here, right? So I'm going to go ahead, lock this in. So I'm going to go ahead and lock this in so that we do not interact with it anymore. Now, what I would want to do is go ahead, create, let's say, an arrow. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and click, let's say, right at the center over here. Right at the center over there, and also create. Instead of this, I need the pen tool over here. So I'm going to go ahead and select the pen tool over here, put it right at the center over here, and write another one at the center over here. Then I'm going to press escape. Okay, now I'm going to align it so that it's right at the center. But before that, I would want to go ahead, select my web over here. And now instead of like 10 for the box, I'm going to go ahead and select 5. So that I can see the points exactly where they are. So I'm going to go ahead and select that. Now, but before that, I'm going to press Ctrl Z, double click on it so that I can move it uniformly so that I can fill it up. Or move it accordingly to the points over here to make it uniformly the same size. There you go. I'm going to press escape and we'll keep it at 5 for the grid. Now, once that is done, now what I'm trying to do here, so if I were to interact with this, this will open up a left side panel. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, create another window over here. There you go. Now I'll go to prototype over here, select this one, or instead of selecting this one, I'm going to go ahead and select this one, and it will basically go ahead and move it right over here. So that's going to be our interaction over there. So now in this panel over here, I'm going to go ahead, select the path tool, I'm going to go ahead and move this, let's say right about over here. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and increase this size over here. There you go. Or double click on it so that I can go ahead and increase this size like this. There you go. Then press escape to finalize it. And I'm going to select this and rotate this 180 degree so that it moves to that part. And I'm going to go ahead and move this right over here. Now, as you can see, we have two main window panels over here, but now I'm going to go ahead and add in some colors to it. So I'm going to go ahead and select this. For the fill color, as it's locked, I'm going to first unlock it. As the fill color, let's try for add something like grayish color to it. There you go. Now I'm going to go ahead, select this one and add in a color picker tool. Use the color picker tool over here and select the grayish color part from that one over here. Now I'll go ahead, select both of this. As you can see, the color is not the same. So I'm going to go ahead and select this and change the color again. There you go. Now the color is same. So now I'm going to go back to prototype over here and select this one. Okay, or select this one over here, and we have our like tab, we have transition. Okay, so transition is a normal like normal animation for it. So destination is this one. We have the animation over here. So as you can see, slide up, push left, push right, push up, push down. So we're going to have it slide right. Okay, so now let's go for the preview over here to see. So we're to click on this. As you can see, it's slide right, but we do not need that. We want to keep it to slide left. So let's try for slide left and preview it to see. As you can see, it's slid from the left side to the right side, but we do not need the transition because the transition will transit from this page to this page. What we need is auto animate. Then the destination is our web 2 over here. And instead of ease out, let's go for ease in and ease out. And let's try to see how it looks like now. So if we were to click this now, as you can see, now I have nothing selected as that one. So I'm going to go to prototype over here, select this button over here, go back over here. We have ease in and out as well. So now if we were to go back to preview, now if we were to select this, it dragged out like that. Now if we were to click on this, it dragged out like this. Now we have a smart animation or a micro interaction. So if I were to like zoom in, or if I were to like make it like, as you can see, look at the icon over here. So as you can see, if I were to look at the icon also changes. Now you can make it so that it is like various, like you can make it so that it can work with a lot of things. So I'm going to keep this as it is, and I'm going to go ahead and create a new window over here. I'm going to go ahead and delete this and delete this. So what I'm trying to say is, for example, let me go ahead and select the line tool over here, or select my rectangle tool over here, create a rectangle. Let me align it properly in the center. Now this, let's say I'm going to create a drop down menu. Okay, a drop down menu, let's say for Instagram, let's say on the right, you have the drop down menu, right? You click on that, but it doesn't have any kind of animation to it. So let's try to have like an animation for that. So I'm going to go ahead and click this, for example, create a line, let's say. So I'm going to go ahead, change the line like that, have the size of the border to, let's say, 5 over here. There you go. So now that's there. I'm going to go ahead, put it at the center, put it, let's say, over here, then put it, let's say, over here. There you go. Now I'm going to go ahead, select this line, select this line, and select this line. Put it at the center of our artboard. First group it together, then put it at the center. Then I'll ungroup it. I'm going to select this one and then press this at the center. Now we have this, right? Now I'm going to go ahead, copy this, paste this right over here. Now I want to have this one's animate. So let's say this is an interaction where you press this. Let me put the size back to 5 over here. There you go. And the corners a bit rounded. And let me select this. Also change the corners a bit rounded to make it look much more refined. There you go. Let me go ahead and delete this and copy this again. Now we have this. Okay. So now let's say you click on this, and this is a micro interaction. With an animation. So let me go ahead and place, or let me go ahead and first put some animations to it. But before that, let me go ahead go to my web 2 over here, or this is web 4. So I'm going to go ahead and select web 4 over here and add the square grid option over here so that I can see the square grids. Now, as you can see, these are not properly lined up. So let me go ahead and change the square grids over here to something different. So let me set it to, let's say, 8 over here. Now 8 doesn't work perfectly as well, but that's okay. You can align it however you want. I'll just go ahead and like discard that late for now. So let me try to just select this over here, and let me go ahead and double click on it. Just uniformly may place it like, let's say, over here. There you go. And let's say select this one, uniformly place it like over there, as you can see. There you go. Now I would want this one to be shorter and this one to be shorter as well. There you go. Or let me just press and hold on Alt to make it all like shorter like that. There you go. So now we have like a different kind of icon over here, right? You can like, you can design it however you want. For me, it looks fine as it is. Now I'm going to go back to prototype. I'm going to go and first, let's say, select this over here. And I'm going to first go to design over here. I'm going to go ahead, select all of these objects over here, group them up together. And I'm going to also select all of these objects and group these guys up together. Now going back to prototype, I'll select this and I'll put it over there, and I'll select this and I'll put it over here. Now while selecting this, you have the auto animate over here for the tap. Now I have the auto animate here, ease in and out, as you can see like that. So let me go ahead, go back to my preview over here. But before that, let me go ahead, go to design, select this, and let me go ahead. First animate. Let me go ahead and select this over here and then animate it. Now if we were to click on this, as you can see, we have ease in and ease out, but it does the ease in and ease out animation. So in order for you to like change the animation, let me go ahead and change it. So let me go ahead and select this. Instead of ease in and ease out, let's try bounce. Let's try bounce for this one as well. And now let's go for preview and see. As you can see, it bounces in, bounces out, but there's no specific animations to it. Now, how do you make it so that it looks well animated? So I'm going to go ahead, select all of this, ungroup them so that this is ungrouped now, as you can see. These are all ungrouped. So if I were to move this, this is ungrouped. If we're to move ungroup this one as well. So as this is ungrouped, let me go ahead and play this button again. So not this one. I'm going to select this, go to play. Now if I were to go ahead and click, as you can see, nothing's happening because underneath the prototype we do not have anything selected, right? I'm going to select this, I'm going to select this, and then move it across over here. Then underneath here we have tap, auto animate. Then we have tap, we have auto animate. Then instead of bounce, let's go for ease in and out. Okay, so for this one as well, let's go for here. Let's go for ease in and out. Let's just try this one and see how it is now. I'm going to go ahead and click on play. Not that one. I'm going to go ahead and select this one, artboard over here. Then if I were to, now as you can see, it's working like that. But this is not the animating properly because after you design it, but what I'm trying to say here is, let me go ahead and show it to you. So let me go ahead and delete this. So let me go ahead and paste this over here. Okay. Now, once this is done, you have to select prototype from over here and then select it, then change it however you want. So if I were to select this one, or if I have to go to design now I have to go and select this and then drag it like that. Now I have to select this and then drag it on top like this. There you go. Right. Now I'll go ahead and select this, then I'll drag it at the center like this. There you go. Now go back to prototype over here, select this one, then I'll drag and drop it like that. Now once I go back to design over here, select my artboard over here, web over here, then I'll go back to play over here. Now if I were to play it, now as you can see, my design is now works perfect. Now it looks perfect as well. You can also make it so that this one over here only creates a cross and the middle one fades away. You can also make it so it is like that. So that's basically it for how to make micro interactions with animations. You can like create any kind of micro interactions, may it be like say a heart shape, with circles around it. Then the circles fade out, and it doesn't necessarily need to be within 2 artboards. You can create, like, say, 10 artboards with 10 types of animations, and all of those animations play within like a span of 1 second. You can also make it like that, but it like at the end of the day, at the end of like all your work, it depends on your creativity on how you can make that. I've just shown you like a few examples on how you can create it, like very simple examples. Well, I'll be also showing you a lot more complex examples in our class project. So that will be all for this lesson, and this will be end of this lesson, and I'll be seeing you in the next one.